This is Rob Zip, and you're watching the Most Epic Adventures.
All right.
Uh, cool.
All right.
So if there's any cats that jump up, don't worry about it. I can cut myself
We
out
got a
of the
dog
corner.
named Cat, so
So hi, how's it going? I'm Rob. Nice to meet you, dude.
good. I'm Steven. Nice to meet you, man.
Congratulations on your win in Chicago.
Thank you.
Um, so how many rounds did you have to go through?
We lucked out. We only had the one in Chicago, so we have that in the national at the end of the month. So
How many bands were there?
I want to say there are 12.
12, and
12 some. Yeah.
you guys are number one out of the 12.
Yeah.
And how far away
Somehow.
how far away did people come for that one? Do you know? Did you talk to many of the other bands?
Yeah, we got there. We got there probably about an hour or so before the show started, and we set up breakfast stuff, and we just kind of talked with everybody. Most of the bands seemed to be from around the Chicago area. There was one from Indiana. It was only like maybe an hour and a half drive for them.
Okay.
We traveled about 3.5 ish. So
So you're from Wisconsin, right?
yes,
Where in Wisconsin?
Sheboygan. It's right along the lake. It's pretty much a middle point between Green Bay and Milwaukee.
Okay, right on. Good cheese and sausage and beers, right?
Yep,
I've only been to Wisconsin once, and that's all I knew.
that's really all there is here, man.
Right on. Well, and apparently some badass metal.
Yeah, some of it, not all of it, but most of it.
Well, you guys do have an EP that's on Spotify. I've been giving that a little bit of a listen. Um, some pretty good stuff. Would you say? What do you think you guys are better as a recorded band or as a live band? Because I haven't had a chance to see you yet.
I like to think that we're better live. The recording doesn't quite capture the energy that we try to put out or that we convey across live. So I think the recordings sound great though. Everything it translates pretty well too. So I guess just live you have something more to watch instead of just relying on your imagination, I guess.
Do you guys have any videos online, like any live
Yeah,
videos?
we have a bunch of live stuff on our YouTube channel, stuff that we shot with GoPros over the last year or so, and just kind of took the coolest angles and put them all together. We have a music video for a song off of our first album, for Immolation, and that's about 2.5, 3 years old now. So
All right, cool, man. I mean, I guess I didn't ask you. I've been these interviews. I've been talking mostly with the whole band. What is it that you do in the band?
I'm the bassist and vocalist.
Okay, so you're like the Lemmy or the Kronos of the band.
Yeah, I felt like it'd be that cool.
Yeah, I saw Venom Incorporated open for Original Misfits Saturday in Chicago, and
Yeah.
I'd never seen Venom before. I haven't really actually come to think of it, haven't really seen any of their live footage, so I didn't realize that Kronos did the same thing that Lemmy did with the mic up here while he's playing the
Yeah,
bass.
it's goofy. I tried to do that for a little bit, but it's more comfortable for me to do more of like a Hetfield thing with the mic lower and kind of looking down a little bit. So
Well, you also do you do a lot more. I don't want to say growly, but how would you describe your style? It's kind of a cross
um,
between black and death metal-ish, sort of, right? Or-
yeah, yeah, I've heard that before. Recently I heard that I sound like Trevor from Black Dahlia Murder. I don't know about that, but if I could be that cool, that'd be sweet. But it's just kind of where my voice goes naturally. I don't know. It happened when I started doing vocals, and I was like, that's what we're gonna get. So if we like it, we'll stick with it. If not, we'll look for a new vocalist. So
All right. Well, you seem to be doing well so far.
thanks.
Did any of the other guys try vocalizing, singing?
Um, No. Our guitarist, our lead guy, Jacob, he can't yell at all. And then Blake is still a little too fresh in the band and stuff to be trying to master two things at once. And even still, I've been doing full time vocals for about a year and a half now, and there's still parts on songs that I'm like, oh my god, I really need to work on this, or it gets rough for me sometimes even still. So
Right on. Well, how long have you guys been around?
uh 4.5, 5 years now. So and
Okay.
we're on well through our fifth year.
And it sounds like you've gone through some lineup changes.
Yeah. Yeah, the most recent being about 2 years ago. We had some. Hold on one second. Let me mute this real quick. All right. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Yeah, we had some internal issues with our previous vocalist, and we decided to part ways with him. And shortly after that, I think it was like one or two shows. Our rhythm guitarist decided he was going to leave as well. So
Okay,
that's when cover vocals.
Okay, so you weren't the original vocalist.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, but you are on all the recorded stuff.
Yes.
Stuff that's on Spotify anyway.
Backup. We still play bass on our first album.
Okay, right on, man. So, are you excited for the national final?
I'm trying not to think about it too much. It's still a ways out, and there's some really good bands that are in it. So, just gonna work our way out there and do our thing and hope for the best. So
the other bands are, is it Violent System? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Violent System. I can't pronounce the one with the N properly.
Dissentience, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that one right either. I think it's Dissentience. I'm not sure, but those guys seem pretty wild too. And I was like, ooh, all these bands on this national are no joke. So
yeah, and I saw Nahaya from San Antonio. I did an interview with them at the Texas final. If you want to check that out, and all of the bands that played at the Texas final, I put all their sets on my YouTube and Facebook, so you can kind of see what you're up against there.
Awesome. One thing I kind of did before the Chicago one was I limited myself to listening to one song because it was a battle for Wacken or whatever. So I wanted to get the full experience of the bands giving it their all and really let that be my first impression of them instead of a recording, because we played shows with bands where they just have very terrible recordings, but live they're phenomenal. And I'm like, oh, like it's insane. So I wanted to have a first impression of seeing them live for the first time, giving it their all. So
yeah, and even with the videos, you can't feel the energy. Like Nahaya won the Texas final. They were so loud. The vibrations shook my audio recorder, and it fell and it broke my cable inside of the recorder.
Oh, man.
So they're the only band that's broken any of my gear.
It's kind of a cool thing, but it's also kind of a, oh man, it sucks type thing, you know, and you got to replace something. But
yeah, it's kind of funny to look back on it, but I kind of knew, like, all right, where these guys are legit. So we don't know who's going to come out of the West Coast final. That's going to be on the 11th. But those guys have to battle through several rounds to get to the national final.
Yeah, we were pretty fortunate. I would have been stressing out like crazy. My beard would probably be completely gray if we would have had to do like 3 or 4 rounds like those guys have to.
But you just won and you're in. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. But I see that you guys are going to do a tour to get there and back.
Yep.
What made you guys decide to go that route?
We checked the prices of plane tickets, and it'd be roughly about the same in flight tickets and hotel room and car rental and stuff than it for us to just tour it out there. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of vacation because just in case somehow we do win, we have to save vacation time from work and stuff to be able to go to Germany. So we have
Yeah.
some insane drives. We have like 13 hours for the first night, and then we have to turn around and leave right away. And we have 17 hours, and it's pretty nuts getting out there. And then on the way back, it's the same thing. So, but it gets us there and it gets us more exposure on the tour and stuff like that. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, when you decided you were going to do the tour, did you already know venues or bands or promoters in these towns?
no, I had reached out on Facebook. I was like, hey, I need help booking in these is where we kind of want to try to get to. So luckily I had a lot of people in the Midwest here shoot me contacts that they have from various areas, and a couple bands that we played with on Full Terror Assault. We hit up some of those guys like Saint Breaker and Bleed the Victim, and we ended up setting up shows with those two on the way out there. So
Right on, man. Well, that's good. It's all about making connections and
oh yeah,
reaching out. Facebook is a great way. I mean, it sucks in a lot of ways, or old people spreading fake news, but it's great to reach out with networking and stuff like that. So that's awesome. You know, I don't remember if it was you or someone else that they you know they wanted to thank me or whatever for reaching out, and I'm like, no, man, thank you for allowing me to talk to you, because I think this is rad that you guys are competing for this, and you wouldn't be able to make it if you didn't kick ass. You know, you guys went up against 12 bands, and these other bands went up against other bands, and you obviously showed something that the judges really thought, all right, these guys would be good enough to play in front of thousands of people in Germany. So
I just chalk it up to luck for us. I got lucky somehow. There are some really good bands in Chicago, so. But thanks for reaching out though. Seriously, man, like it's great.
well, I mean, it's cool to hear the stories of how people are how the bands are going to get there, and you know, one of you guys are going to go to Germany, and
Mm.
I'll be there. Hopefully, I'll be there as press as for that too. But I don't know. It's been a little easier for me to get press here because it's a little bit of a. I don't know if Vakken open air battle is as well known as it should be, at least down here. I don't know how.
Yeah. Uh, when I tell people that we're in this battle or whatever, they're like, what is that?" And I have to go through and explain it to them and everything, and then they're like, "Oh wow!" Like so, I told my boss at work that if we end up going, I was just taking off and wanted to make sure I was gonna have a job when I got back and stuff like that. So, like I'm not turning this down, man. If we make it, like I'm not gonna be here these days already. And this was back in February right after we won the first round. So
Yeah. So you've known since February that you're going to go to LA in May.
yep.
Wow, that's a
Uh,
long time to wait.
yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword because we have all this time, but to get good and get tight and make sure that we're as professional and as if we can play our stuff as perfect as possible for us. But it's also almost like a nerve thing where you're just super anxious to get out there and you just want it to happen already and you can't wait to do it, and so it's kind of weird, especially now that it's getting really close after we have waited for 3 months now. So
So is there anything that you guys did in Chicago that you're like, oh man, I wish we would have done this differently, or like, oh, we did this really awesome. Let's do this even better. I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
I
you also
I don't
probably don't
know if
want to
we
give
can.
away too many secrets either, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Our set's relatively the same, like energy wise and stuff like that. And as far as our stage presence goes, a lot of it for me is mostly just thinking of things to say in between songs or and stuff like that because I'm terrible in between songs for the most part. I
No,
don't I'm not good just like talking on my feet like that. So
now in Houston and in the Texas final, the bands had 15 minutes. I guess with 12 bands, it was probably. Did you have a short set like that in Chicago?
we had 20 in Chicago,
You
and
had 20.
I think it's 25 in LA. So
It's 25 in LA. That's what I was going to ask you next. So you have an extra 5 minutes um, that you didn't have in Chicago. Do you have uh, do you have 25 minutes of material, or because like do they count? They count against you if you go over, right?
yeah, yep. If you go over, you start getting points taken off. So we set up our set for LA to be, I think it's like a minute shorter, just in case we run a little long tuning or something like that. So we have a little bit of play time there. But I mean, you also don't want to cut it too short because that might look bad, like, oh, they don't have enough material to fill a full set. So,
Yeah.
but we definitely have enough material to fill, probably an hour and 20 minutes. I think is the longest we've ran before. So
Nice. Well, if you play in Vakken, how long would you get there? Do you know?
I would assume about a half hour.
Yeah. Okay, so they
Yeah.
haven't told you. They haven't told you.
No,
I guess
we
they
haven't
would.
run into a little bit yet. So
I guess they'll. Do you know what else? Is there anything? So if you do win, other than the slot, a time slot, do they? How will you guys get there?
from my understanding from the first email we got, with like accepting us into the battle or whatever, and they were kind of talking about it. Um, the bands are responsible for all the travel up to that international point. So like the winner of this, from the way I understand it, is either all or most of their flights will be covered to get there and back. And then in Germany, it's the international battle in Germany then. So
Right.
it's you versus 28 other countries. And the winner of that gets like a lot of prizes. With like, you get like in touch with record labels and booking agencies and all this other stuff. And you win a bunch of euros and a whole bunch of cool things happen that way. But I mean, even just getting out there would be amazing. So,
Now, but I mean, like playing in LA at the Viper Room, that's got to be pretty cool.
yeah, we our first time out in LA. So we did our first tour last year. We did a week and we went down Texas area and kind of looped back up to here. And so if we weren't going to be going to this, we probably would have been doing another tour, but I don't think we would have made it out to LA. So getting out to LA and being able to play at the Viper Room, and then just to kind of be a tourist and stuff and do some sightseeing, like go to the Whiskey and the Rainbow and stuff like that and check it out and stuff, is going to be sweet.
Yeah, they're basically like all next to each other.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my buddies in McAuburn. He was like, "Yeah, man, you got to go here and here. It's all within walking distance." It's like, oh, sweet. Like I don't have to try to find anything really. And
Yeah,
so
have you guys already found a place to stay?
we have a bus, so
Oh, no shit.
yeah, we got like a 14 passenger like uh airport shuttle type thing that we
Okay.
bought and just gutted it and put some bunks and a futon and stuff in there. So
All right. Well, but you got
it's
to
crashing
park.
in the way.
You got to park it somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know about that yet. So we'll probably just find the nearest Walmart and crash. So
Well, good luck with that. I know there are like campgrounds and stuff that you can go to also, but Walmart works as well.
yeah,
Don't.
yeah, and honestly too, like after the LA show, like we have to get to Denver for the next night, so we have like a 16-hour drive right after that. So pretty much after it's done, we might hang out for like a half hour, and then we have to hit the road. So most of this tour is just gonna be driving and sleeping when you're not driving.
So right as soon as they announce the winner, you're like, all right, we're gone. You're gonna take off to Denver.
Unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave shortly after. I mean, I don't know how long it runs, how long it's gonna run till. I'm assuming till midnight, and that would give us 20 hours to get to Denver. So we also lose an hour on the way out. So I mean, we could probably leave at like 1 or 2 Eastern time and still be pretty safe. But with mountain driving and everything else, and this stupid bus, it'd be nice just to, you know, have a little bit of extra time if we can.
Are any of you guys mechanics?
Uh, our drummer and myself know enough to make an educated guess or fix something along the way if we can, but not like full on mechanics. So
I was gonna say, man, AAA is the way to go. If not,
yeah.
AAA is definitely worth it. I will be flying out there, and I'll be recording the show. It'll be nice to meet you in person.
Yeah,
Um,
man, I look forward to it.
um, Shit. Best of luck to you, and people can find you on Spotify. You guys have Facebook. You have a little video running across your Facebook page. I got to figure out how
Yep.
to get that done. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we just went to go update our cover photo and it said upload video, and I was like, oh, sweet, we'll just throw our lyric video up here. So,
Nice. It looks good.
thank you.
Um, and I was looking. I mean, I didn't go through your entire Facebook history. I just looked at a little bit. You put a couple of albums that inspired you, but
Yeah,
without any explanation.
yeah,
Um,
I slacked on that. I
would
think I only put 2 out of 10.
would you? So yeah, you put Operation Mindcrime from Queensryche,
Hmm.
and then you put an album from a band called Toxic.
Yep.
And so I'm guessing they're a big influence of Toxic Ruin, huh?
Honestly, no.
No.
Um, no. I'm like the more old school heavy metal guy, influenced of like the whole band. Everybody else is, our guitarist and drummer are into like heavier death metal almost, and then our rhythm guitarist is just almost pretty much a thrash guy. But I'm a super big like old school heavy metal guy, so like any Maiden or Priest or anything like that, it's right up my alley. So
Nice. Yeah, those guys, Iron Maiden, they're going on tour again,
I know it's nuts,
and they still do good.
phenomenal
Yeah,
phenomenal every time I see him.
yeah, same. Well, cool, man. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good.
All right, cool. Well, Stephen, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. Again, best of luck, and I will see you on the 25th at the Viper Room in LA.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Look forward to it.
All right, cool. Have a good one.
You too.